Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another big USFFL football game. Let's start by addressing the elephant of the room. Those looking at your screen, you are not forced to see my ugly face on Valentine's Day. I don't know what happened. My camera's not working, but I'm still able to broadcast, and after all, that's why you're here. So let's talk about our game. We have the NFC Championship today. It's going to be the Detroit Lions 15-4 on the road against the Philadelphia Eagles 15-4. It's going to be Coach Tim Hay hosting Coach Michael Emerson. NFC title game. Winner gets the Chiefs next week. Let's get it going. All right, welcome back. Let's go full screen and let's go ahead and pull that game number and let's get started. Already pulled the pre-file this time, so we should be good to go. And indeed, here we are. 1st and 10 at the 26 for the Eagles. They will get the opening possession of this game. And it's a handoff. Barkley, big run out across midfield and across to the 40, inside the 40 to the 36 of Detroit. First carry of the game, plus 38. Off tackle wrong on Barkley's card. So the Eagles immediately in business in field goal range after the first offensive play of this game. 3 wide receiver set. Jalen Hurts back to pass. Looking short. And it's going to be incomplete. Found the one number between a bunch of must runs and 2 completions. It's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 36. Three wide receivers again, Lions in a nickel. Lions are rated good to excellent against the run defensively. Average to poor against the pass. Off tackle handoff, left side, this goes to Barkley. Lions looking run this time, and that's going to be a 3-yard loss for Saquon. And that'll make it 3rd down and 13 at the 39. This is out of field goal range. Elliott needs to get inside the 37, and you're probably not going to take that 2 through 4. He probably needs to get to the 32-ish. So 3rd and 13, Hurts in the pistol. Back to pass he goes, looking short. Safety is doubled up on A.J. Brown, but the target is the tight end, Dallas Goedert. Dice take us to Hurts, right column, and here comes a must run, and snake eyes for Hurts. Big run, inside the 20, inside the 10, and all the way down to the 4-yard line. Jalen Hurts plus 35 on a 3rd and 13 must run, and it is 1st and goal for the Eagles. Coach Tim Hay, opening drive, a couple of big results on the ground, and he's in business. Full house set. Here's a sneak. Quarterback Jalen Hurts. Tush push at the 4. Keeps pushing. Keeps grinding. And touchdown. Eagles are in on the game's opening drive, powered by a 35-yard must run from their quarterback and an opening play 38-yard dart by Saquon Barkley. Tush push gets Hurts into the end zone. The extra point. Jake Elliott is up. And it's true. And just a couple of minutes into the NFC Championship, Eagles already up at home, 7-0 on Detroit. Kickoff taken at the 1-yard line, and Tom Kennedy is out to the 30, right where he would have been with a touchback. So 1st and 10 right there for the Lions. That drive for the Eagles, 5 plays, 74 yards, 3 first downs, and the sneak by Hurts to get it in. Lions will start with 3 wide receivers as well, and Eagles in a nickel. Tailback's going to be David Montgomery. It's a 2-headed monster, as you know. We'll see a lot of Jahmyr Gibbs as well. Montgomery has the B-rated yak. Gibbs has the A-rated yak. Montgomery's card off tackle wrong is very scary, filled with short gains. Here's an off tackle Montgomery, but they keyed him. And with 2 linebackers on that defensive card, there's no gains. 2nd and 10. There's a nice call for Coach Tim Hay. Lions coach Michael Emerson still has 3 wide receivers in his set. Safety now showing blitz out of the nickel for the Eagles. We talked with Eagles coach Tim Hay after his last game about living and dying with the blitz. He's going to apply that pressure most of the time. Here's a flat pass. This goes to the tight end, Sam Laporta. Receiver result, Laporta on his right column's got a nice catch and run, and that's going to set up a much more manageable 3rd and 2. Pickup of 8 for Laporta. And we'll see if the Lions go to more of a base run set, and they do. It's a blocking back set. Rephrase, I'm sorry, it's a 2 tight end set. Gibbs is now the tailback. Again, we mentioned he has A-rated yak. Very dangerous runner in his own right. Eagles will sit in a 3-4. So they want their linebackers out there on this short yardage play. Eagles defensively, we hadn't mentioned it yet, also good to excellent against the run. Relevant here on this 3rd and 2. They double the flats and call pass. It is short. Goff looking for Jamison Williamson, and Williamson's got the catch. 1st down yardage. Big pickup of 18 as a receiver result came up. And Williams made good on that. He's a deep play threat always. 18-yard pickup across midfield to the Philly 44. So both teams have faced 3rd down once and converted it. Three wide receivers split out. Goff back to pass. He's looking deep. Wants Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it is incomplete. There's a penalty. And that's going to be against the defense, but not pass interference. Just illegal contact, so it'll be a 5-yard markup and a 1st down for the Lions at the Philly 39. From right here all the way out to the 41, Lions are 2 through 8 and 12 on field goals. So a longer range for their kicker and better odds to boot. So they've got a little bit better kicker in this game. Montgomery, the tailback here in 1st and 10. Inside handoff to him. Defense was looking past. Montgomery gets his card, and he's got himself a short gain. Good run from Montgomery. And a big tote, too. It's 18 yards, brought down at the 21. Nice short gain roll on that chart. 1st and 10, now into a 2 tight end set. Laporta and Brock Wright are the bookends. They'll stay with Montgomery at tailback. Safety showing blitz here out of the nickel. So on 1st down, they'll keep the nickel in play even with the 2 tight end set. And you got to wonder if they're tempting Montgomery to make that run call. Let's see what we get. Defense indeed does look run. It's a flat pass. This goes to Jamison Williams. Receiver chance for him and incomplete. Williams in his wrong column has a dangerous card, and that 11 roll was split between a +11 and a long game. And the long game wasn't on boxcars. It was on a 10. Boy, he almost got it. 2nd and 10 at the 21. Now 3 wide receivers in formation. Montgomery stays at tailback. Tim Patrick in the slot. Eagles coach Hayes showing blitz with his safety again. Back to pass. Defense was looking run. It's short, and that's caught. Ross St. Brown makes the catch, and that's going to be an 11-yard pickup and first and goal for the Lions at the 10-yard line. Eighth play of the drive coming up. Blocking back set. Montgomery still your tailback. Safety showing blitz out of the 3-4 here. Flat pass still in play at the 10. Defense looks past. They double one flat, but it's an inside handoff. Montgomery up the middle, and he's got 5. Montgomery gets snake eyes in his wrong column. But just a 5-yard pickup. Second and goal at the 5. We now have a full house set. That gets Gibbs in the game with Montgomery. 3-4 blitz by the Eagles. Eagles crash run its pass. Looking short and no good. Tried to hit Tim Patrick. Found emptiness in the short pass 4-man column defensively. Third and goal at the 5. I'll pull up the broadcast now. Make sure I'm streaming through. Imagine I am, or I would have heard something. Third and goal at the 5. Full house set. 3-4 blitz by the defense. Still waiting on the play call here. And indeed, the broadcast is coming through loud and clear. Defense looks run, back to pass, short, and no good. Tried to hit tailback Jahmyr Gibbs and found that same 4-man column, 6 reading. So incomplete. It's 4th and goal at the 5, and that's going to bring out the place kicker, Bates, for a chippy 22-yard field goal. And that'll be 2 through 11. Jake Bates is up and good as he rolls the 11. And that has now consumed exactly half of the first quarter of this NFC Championship game. 7 minutes, 30 seconds remains first quarter. Both teams score on their opening drive, but the Philly defense forces the Lions into a field goal attempt. So 7-3 Eagles. They now have 4-point lead and possession of the ball. They'll begin at their own 30 after a touchback. And on first down, we got a flat pass. This is going to the blocking back Grant Calcaterra. And he's got the catch and a nice pickup of 9 yards. 6 on the white die. Got you to the 0-man column, and it's 2nd and 1. That Detroit field goal drive was 11 plays, 65 yards, 4 first downs, and a 22-yard field goal. 2nd and 1, 3 wide receivers in formation. Defense looks run, and it's going to be a sneak. So Hurts on his own card, he gets just enough, and that'll move the sticks. 1-yard gain. 1st and 10 now, Eagles at their own 40. Still 3 wide receivers in formation. Detroit's in a nickel now, and it's going to be a handoff again off tackle. This goes to Saquon Barkley. Defense looking pass, and Barkley in his right column gets 0. And that's going to be right column because of the 1 on the white-sided dice. With 3 wide receivers on the field, that 1 will convert to the right column. If it makes you feel any better as an Eagles fan, it was going to be 0 if it was on the wrong column. And if you can see the card that I'm looking at right now, you can see how middle of the card, it's just deadly. Nothing there. He's not going to gain yardage. But the extremes of that card, Barkley's on the loose. So high stakes running for both teams today. 2nd and 10. Here's a pitch out, Barkley. Defense calls run again. Good call defensively for Coach Michael Emerson, and that's going to be false start against the offense to wipe it away. 2nd and 15 now. Eagles still split out their 3 receivers. Hurts is under center for this play, and it's a handoff off tackle. Defense looking pass. And once again, one on the white die takes it to the right column for Barkley. It's a 7-yard gain. About to slide this over to see what it was going to be on wrong. Plus 70. So he gets 7 yards on right. Good call, obviously, Coach Mike Emerson on defense. And that gets the defense to an opportunity to get off the field. 3rd down and 8. Eagles at their own 42. 3 wide receivers set. This time Hurts out of the pistol formation. He's got Barkley beside him. Lions in a nickel. And back to pass. Looking short, and the receiver he wants is doubled. He was going for Saquon Barkley on a short pass. Safety is all over him, and that goes to Hurts. Double team column for an incompletion. 4th and 8. Another great call by the defensive coach, Michael Emerson, as just now noted in chat by the Eagles coach, Tim Hay, who is now forced to punt from his own 42. So we have our first defensive stop forcing a punt of this game. Braden Mann on the field, and he puts his leg into it. And that's going to carry down to the 10-yard line. Underneath it there is Khalif Raymond, and he's got good space, and he's loose. Khalif Raymond is gone. Snake eyes, and the Detroit Lions get a special teams touchdown. There are no flags. Khalif Raymond. A 90-yard punt return here in the first quarter. And that gives the Lions their first lead in this game. Extra point, Jake Bates is good. And it is 10-7 Detroit at 4:30 remaining of the first quarter. And I believe Khalif Raymond did some of that during the regular season as well. We'll check it out. Yes, he had 2 punt return touchdowns during the regular season with a long of 90. Ironically, that's exactly what he just got on this case. So Eagles now trail by 3. They'll begin at their 30 after a touchback. First down screen to Barkley. Defense was looking run. Good opportunity, but incomplete as Barkley wasn't given a chance. Went to the defensive card, one-man column, found an empty spot. 2nd down and 10. Now a base run set. So 3 wide receiver formation is set aside here. Blocking back set. Barkley, your tailback. Back to pass Hurts. He's looking short. He wants Barkley again. And Hurts on his own card is incomplete. All his must runs, there's only 3 blanks on his short pass card. I think maybe he's hit all 3. 3rd and 10 now. Hurts has begun the game 1 for 5. And again, Hurts was just 8 for 26 in his last game with 66 yards passing. Eagles still won. So he's still kind of struggling early here. 3rd and 10. He'll probably get another shot here Although with Barkley in the backfield, you never know. He's in the pistol. There's 3 wide receivers out there. Lions in the nickel. And the snap back to pass. Hurts. Looking short. He wants Devontae Smith. Safety is doubling a different receiver. We go to the 4-man defensive column. It's going to be caught, and that's a first down. Hurts with his second completion connects with Devontae Smith on 11 yards. Move the sticks. Eagles, a new series beginning at their 41. Eagles now 2 for 3 on third downs. They'll go with a base run set to start off again here. And against that base run, Lions are running base defense, 4-3. Back to pass. Hurts looking deep. He's got an empty zone. Defense calls pass, but if it goes to the defensive card, it's empty back there. Got to get through the pressure first. And too much pressure, he's dumping it off. We're in the flats now. Heading it off to Devontae Smith. A nice catch and run for him, and that's going to be enough for another first down. As he just gets across midfield. Back-to-back completions for the much maligned recently Jalen Hurts. And it's 1st and 10 at the Detroit 49. Barkley once again, the tailback. Base run. Blocking back. Back to pass. Lions are looking run, but it's short. We're going to A.J. Brown. And goes to the defensive card. 3 men, and that's going to be incomplete. However, a terrible die roll of 7. The only incompletion is bailed out on pass interference call against the defense. That's going to mark off 16 yards. 1st and 10 now at the Detroit 33, and the Detroit free safety, Kirby Joseph, is hurt. They've taken him out of the game. We'll check on that. 1st and 10 at the 33. Eagles go, or I should say, the Eagles go back to their third wide receiver. Jahan Dotson in the slot. (4-2-5) defense here shown by the Lions. So a little middle zone eye candy. Free safety covers that, but here goes a deep pass to A.J. Brown. Looks like there's a man back there. And it's going to be a dump off again. This time we're out to Jahan Dotson, who ends up in the 0-man column. First down catch inside the 20 and down to the 17. Pick up a 16 for Jahan Dotson, and the Eagles are into the red zone. 1st and 10. That injury previously mentioned to the free safety for Detroit, Kirby Joseph. He's a 6'6" safety. 6 against pass, 6 against the run. Replacement's going to be a 0. So that's an impactful injury for this game. I'll go check here in a second and see if he's coming back before this game finishes. We'll get our sideline reporter on it. 1st and 10 at the 17, off tackle handoff. Running into a nickel defense is Saquon Barkley. Barkley wants his wrong column, and he gets it, but he misses the result. Rolls the dreaded 5 on his card for -1. 2nd down and 11. That injury to Kirby Joseph is just for the remainder of the first half, so with 1:12 on the clock here in the first quarter, quarter plus is how long that injury is going to be. Eagles still missing the same 2 people, Jenkins and Brandon Graham, that they've been missing for the whole playoffs, really. Eagles back into a blocking back set now on 2nd and 11. Lions defense guesses run, but it's pass. Looking short for Saquon Barkley. Goes to the defensive card. 4-man column and incomplete. Actually flirted with the interception split roll. 2 through 5, 12 misses that. It's 3rd and 11 for Philly. So big play here. Field goal would tie it, but of course the Eagles would like more. 3 wide receivers split out. It's an off-tackle handoff to Barkley into a defensive nickel, guessing pass, so a good opportunity for him. Barkley gets his right column because of the one-sided die, and it does not matter. Oh, he gets botched up by containment. He got the long gain in his right column. That was going to be an 18-yard touchdown run, but nice containment by Jack Campbell of Detroit. And it's 4th and 1 at the 8. And rather than take that tying field goal, here comes Tim Hay with the full house offense. Jalen Hurts under center. We're in tush-push zone here at the 8-yard line. It's going to be all 6s run blocking across the front there, except the right guard will be a 5 in this full house. That was a long gain, and the long gain result was TD. He could have got that touchdown roll from his own 1-yard line. Linebacker containment there when you need it. 4th and 1. It's a sneak. Jalen Hurts, but he's keyed. Good call. Michael Emerson. The dice. They take us to the quarterback card. But no, it is still stuffed on the defensive card. And guess who? Detroit's DJ Reader. But it is actually 6'5". It says linebacker in zone 0 or +5. So that means the linebacker is Jack Campbell. So Jack Campbell saved that touchdown run with the containment. And then on 4th and 1, linebacker in zone stuffs the runner. The tush push for no gain, and the Detroit Lions retain the lead and take over at their own 8-yard line as we hit the end of the first quarter here in Philly. Detroit is on top 10-7, and they now have possession of the ball again inside their 10-yard line. Wow, interesting end to that drive and great defensive calls by Coach Michael Emerson. Lions begin with 3 wide receivers out there. Gibbs is the tailback, and it's an inside handoff to him. Gibbs finds the wrong column, and he picks up a short gain on his first carry, I'm pretty sure. 16 yards. That's going to get him out to the 24. And yes, indeed, that is Gibbs' first carry of the game. Gain of 16. Lions now out of the shadow of their own goal line. Same offensive formation, 3 wide receivers. Eagles respond with a 3-4. So on 1st and 10, they want to keep their linebackers out there. And here's a button hook, and that goes to the tailback Gibbs. It's good for 6. So Coach Tim Hay kept the linebacker out there despite 3 receivers. That removes the ability to double team the tailback. So Coach threw it to the tailback. One of the flats was doubled, but he threw look in. 2nd and 4. And again, 3 wide receivers. This time, Eagles will drop into a nickel. Gibbs is out. He's got a breather. Montgomery back in at tailback. The defense keys on him, but it's a flat pass. And all those linebackers that were on the line of scrimmage for the key vacated. To the wrong column we go. It's going to be a catch and run. Yak opportunity, Tim Patrick. And it's going to be a 14-yard gain and a first down. Nice call by Coach Emerson. They're now out to the 44-yard line. Jared Goff begins this game 5 of 8 for 57 yards. 2 tight end set now. Gibbs is back in at tailback. And the Eagles will sit in a 3-4 here. 10-7 score. Early second quarter. Detroit on top. Back to pass on 1st down. Looking short and no good. Tried to hit his tight end, Sam Laporta. Goff couldn't find it on his right column. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Goff has more completions in his right column than Hurts for sure, but not the must runs that Hurst does. Goff has only 1. 2nd down and 10. Still in a 3 wide receiver set with Montgomery at tailback. Safety is going to show blitz for the Eagles here, but they'll still call run defensively, and indeed it is. Off tackle and a 2-yard loss as Montgomery is wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage by Jordan Davis. Those dice hit the dreaded 5 number, and it's 3rd and 12 for Detroit at their own 42. Both teams 50% so far on 3rd downs. Lions are 1 for 2. They'll split out 3 wide receivers. Goff out of the shotgun. Gibbs, not surprisingly, in now at tailback. Nickel blitz shown here by Philly. Average to good rated pass defense. And back to pass, looking short once his tight end Laporta. That pass incomplete. And it flirted with an interception split roll there, 2 through 5 and 12 from the defensive card. Got a 6. So 4th and 12, and the Lions will punt from their own 42. So a nice stop on defense for the Eagles. 50-yard punt that's going to fly back to the 8-yard line. Underneath it there is Cooper DeJean. And I imagine he'll try to return that a little too close to let it bounce. And indeed, here comes the return, and then he drops it. He has muffed that punt. It is on the ground at the 5-yard line and is recovered by the Eagles. Are they going to pick up and try to run it? I sure wouldn't, but they will. They try to pick it up and run with it. They lose another yard, and it's going to be at the 4. So, disaster averted there. Heads up play, Darius Slay. I'm a poet that didn't even know it. Slay recovers the fumble. 1st and 10 at the 4. The Eagles will begin right there. Still 12 minutes, second quarter. 3 wide receivers split out. And I assume the Lions are going to show us the nickel in this 3 wide receiver, 1 halfback set. Coach is considering it. And indeed, he has chosen to bring the nickel. And for that reason, I wonder if we might get a handoff to Barkley here. It also makes a flat pass a little more possible. That's 0 rated safety instead of a 6. You've got a dangerous running back. Might you throw long? Just be interested to see what we do here when you're backed up at your 4. Flat pass, 1 man home. Defense was looking run, so it's an opportunity. The target is Devontae Smith. Goes to the defensive card. Receiver wrong, and that's going to be, would have been a catch and run, but we've got a penalty against the offense. And they have to back up 1st and 12 now from the 2. And now the Eagles drop into a base run set, blocking back. Calcaterra in front of Barkley. Brown and Smith on the outside. Line set in a 4-3. Here's a flat pass. This goes to Devontae Smith. A -2 would be a safety if that comes up. Goes to the defensive card. It's incomplete. Penalty, though. And intentional grounding is the call, and that is a safety. There's the safety. The danger of being backed up. And that puts 2 points on the board for the Detroit Lions. 12-7 Detroit. And the Eagles will now punt from their 20. "49-yard boot." Khalif Raymond underneath it, and he gets a short 7-yard return. And that's going to make the Lions begin at their 23. Now up by 5 in this game, 12-7. It'll be interesting to see at the end of this game how that, as the game winds down, how that 2 points is playing in. to everybody's thinking in the fourth quarter. Or if it won't matter at all, you never know. Back to pass on first, looking short into a run defense, and no good. Jared Goff finds one of only 2 incompletions in his wrong column, other than the split roll interception. 2nd down and 10. Goff is 5 of 11. Surprised to see them pass it this much. Just 5 rushes for about 7 yards a carry. 3 wide receivers set. So again, that makes the running game a little more treacherous with that one on the wide dive. Back to pass. Goff looks short. He wants Amon-Ra St. Brown. Looks like we've got 4 men in zone, but it's going to be a dump off now. We're in the flats going to the tight end. It's Sam Laporta. Gets the 0-man column, makes the catch. Move the stick, says Laporta. Picks up 10. 2nd catch of the game for him. Tackle number 4 for Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Eagles are on a 50-50 split offensively so far right now. 10 passes, 10 rushes, but the Lions, 12 passes, just 5 rushes. Both defenses good to excellent against the run. Now a 2 tight end set with Gibbs. That makes the running game have a little more ability to percolate. You don't lose that one on the white die that can chase you out of your wrong column. Eagles show a 3-4 here, and it's a pitch out to Gibbs. He does get his wrong column, and the dice give him just 3 yards on the result. Rolled a 4 on his own card, on wrong. 3 would have been a long gain. 2nd and 7. Gibbs is out of the game. Montgomery comes in at tailback, and they're right back into the 3 wide receiver set. It's Khalif Raymond now in the slot instead of Tim Patrick. Coach A brings out the nickel. They're going to key the running back. All linebackers on the line of scrimmage, and David Montgomery pushes through it in his right column for 3 yards. All the linebackers were on the line of scrimmage, but that included at the ends, and so there weren't enough linebackers to force him into his keyed column. Both right tackle positions must be manned defensively to key a left-off tackle from a 3-man front. Reading that right off the game details here. So big 3rd and 4 for Detroit now at their own 39. 2 tight end set. Gibbs is back in the game. So the running game won't lose that one on the white die. And on 3rd down, pass run options are both present, or with increased odds at least, I should say. 3-4 defense from the Eagles. They look for a pass, but it's run. Inside handoff, and Gibbs gets 4 yards. Got not the best run on his card at all, but just enough to move the sticks. So Coach Emerson will take that. 3rd carry of the game for Gibbs. And a new set of downs for Detroit at their 43. Clock now winding under 9 minutes to go before halftime. 3 wide receivers split out again. And Montgomery back in at tailback. So a heavy dose of substitution here. Flat pass goes to Khalif Raymond and incomplete. Jared Goff hits his interception split roll. Low odds, 2 to 3 and 12. 2nd and 10 now. Goff now under 50% passing, 6 of 13, 67 yards. Back to a 2 tight end set. Montgomery stays in at tailback. High chance of an off tackle here or a pass, and he's back to pass, looking deep. He's going to Jamison Williams, and he's doubled by a linebacker, and that pass incomplete. Penalty, however, and as a matter of fact, offsetting penalties. So we're going to replay that down. That went to Jamison Williams. Coach A had a couple of receivers double with the linebackers on that one. Three wide receivers set now with Montgomery as your tailback. Nickel here from the defense. And it's going to be a flat pass. Khalif Raymond 4-rated linebacker at home. And we go to the defensive card, and we get linebacker in zone. There's the 5 on the white die, beats the linebacker. And here's a 15-yard catch and run. And a penalty is against the defense, holding against the Eagles, so the Detroit Lions will decline that. 15-yard flat pass to Khalif Raymond. Raymond has the Lions' only touchdown on a 90-yard punt return. 1st and 10 Detroit now across midfield at the Eagles' 42. Back to 2 tight ends and back to Jahmyr Gibbs. I think these 2 running backs just might hit their fatigue level early this game, just from how many times they're running back and forth to substitute for one another in the course of any individual drive. Defense is going to double team Gibbs out of the backfield, but it's a handoff to him. Gibbs right up the middle, and he's got a short gain in his wrong column, and an excellent short gain. Dice, that's a big 20-yard gain all the way down to the 22-yard line of Philly. And Gibbs, 4 rushes, 43 yards in this game. Now halfway through the second quarter, 7.5 to go. Lions up by 5, but they're knocking on the door of the red zone here. Blocking back set now. Montgomery races onto the field as the tailback. Here's a flat pass to Sam Laporta. He was doubled by a linebacker, but it is going to be 6 on the white die. A flat pass to Laporta. 0-man column for 10. 3rd catch for Laporta. And the Lions into the red zone now, down to the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Blocking back set. Montgomery, the tailback, 3-4 blitz from Coach Hay and the Eagles. Lions currently have a 5-point lead, 12-7. Off tackle Montgomery, he is key. There are men in zone, and it's a 2-yard loss. Great call defensively for Coach Tim Hay. As that time he did double up the right off tackle zone. 2-yard loss for Montgomery. He's now 6 rushes, 22 yards. He'll go off the field and think about it. Jahmyr Gibbs is back in. 2nd and 12 at the 14. 2 tight ends set. A-rated yak out there from split end Jamison Williams and Jahmyr Gibbs now. Defense looking pass, inside handoff. Jahmyr Gibbs right at the middle, wide open, and a sprint into the end zone. Touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs in his wrong column once again. That time he got a plus 45 reading, and it's a 14-yard touchdown run. Big hole up the middle. And they'll bring out the extra point kicker. It's Jake Bates. It's good. And with 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter, Detroit Lions on the road in this NFC Championship game, up 19-7. Kenneth Gainwell takes a kick return, and a big one out to the 41. Gainwell got 40. That's more than he can get anywhere on his card. That result comes from a rather poor kick defense by the Lions. So 5:42 left. Eagles will begin now at their own 41. Blocking back set with Barkley out there. Back to pass, Hurts. He looks short. Lions were looking for the pass. And Hurts on his own card, he's got the completion. And that's an 11-yard pickup into Detroit territory at the 48. So a new set of downs right there. That touchdown drive for the Lions. 12 plays, 77 yards. 6 first downs and a big run from Jahmyr Gibbs. 14-yard touchdown run. Lions up by 12. Eagles 1st and 10 now at the 48 of Detroit. First down screen to the left. Linebacker stayed home on that particular flat. Defense did call pass. And the dice have us on Hurts' card. He sets up a nice yak opportunity for Barkley. He's got a good yak rating, but a bad roll, and it's going to be just a 2-yard pickup, 2nd and 8. We have an injury on the play, triple threes. That's not good because Philly has good offensive linemen. Cam Jurgens is their center. He's got 6 rated, blocking them for run and 2 against the pass. So their 6 rated run blocker up the middle is now 0. So 0-0 now, right there as a center. That's a big injury. Off tackle on 2nd and 8. This goes to Saquon Barkley. Defense was looking for the pass, and he's going to lose a yard as Barkley again rolled the 5 on his wrong column. 3rd and 9 now for the Eagles from the Detroit 47. Both teams 2 of 4 on 3rd down so far. 3 wide receivers split out. Barkley in the backfield beside Hurts, who's in the pistol. Lions are going to show us a nickel here. Back to pass. All-out blitz from the Detroit linebackers. Let's see if Hurts can get rid of it. He does. This is going short, and he's got the catch. Dallas Goedert moved the sticks. Goedert gets 11. Hurts completes it, staring into a all-out blitz. Hurts now 7 of 13 for 70 yards. A much better start than he had last week. First catch of the game for Goedert. Inside of 4 minutes remains before halftime now. Eagles 1st and 10 at the Detroit 36-yard line. Three wide receivers still out there. Off tackle handoff. Barkley going to his card. The one on the white die could haunt him, but no, he's going to the defensive card. He's going to get 5 yards. As a 5 on the white die beats that defensive tackle, DJ Reader. 2nd and 5. You got to wonder if maybe they might do a little running here to chip away at that clock and try to leave Detroit as little as possible after a score. 2nd and 5. Here's a look-in pass. This goes to Barkley. Defense was looking run, so a opportunity for a big play offensively. And indeed, a great yak set up by the quarterback. Dice for Barkley. Good catch and run. This is a 1st down play of 18 yards. So 1st and 10 now at the 13-yard line. Eagles into the red zone. Barkley has B-rated yak. Safety's doubling him on this play, but it's a flat pass to Devontae Smith instead. Linebacker stayed home. And it's a receiver result, and it's going to be a catch for 3 yards, Devontae Smith. So not much there. 2nd and 7. Good news for the Eagles. They're at the 10. Flat pass still in play. 2nd and 7. Clock winding down. This will be the final play before the 2-minute warning. We're waiting on the formation call, unless we are potentially frozen. I suppose it's probably at least time to ask that question, yes? Nope, there we go. Formation is called. So again, 2nd and 7, Eagles at their own 10. Sorry, at the Lions 10. Blocking back set. Barkley, your tailback. Here's a flat pass. This goes to A.J. Brown. Lions were looking pass. And that is going to be incomplete, as on the defensive card, interception split roll was found. Neither of these quarterbacks real heavy on the picks. Certainly not on shorter passes like that. 3rd and 7 at the 10. We're at the 2-minute warning. Philly at home, trailing
by 12 points. And they have a big 3rd and 7 at the 10. 3 wide receivers split out. Defense in a nickel. Barkley the tailback. He's dangerous with the run, but they're going to pass. Back to pass, looking short. This is going to Johnny Wilson, and it's incomplete in the 4-man column. So he was trying to avoid double teams there. 4th and 7 at the 10, and out comes Jake Elliott for what's going to be a chippy 27-yard field goal, 2-10 or 2-11 if he doesn't get any variable. It's 2-10, and he drills it. So the Eagles on the board again. They still trail by 2 scores, though. Lions are up 19-10. Touchback on the ensuing kickoff, and with 1:45 to go before halftime, Lions will begin at their own 30, up by 9 points. Both teams all 3 timeouts, 3 wide receivers split out here. Eagles will show a nickel. Tailback is Gibbs. Here's an off tackle to him, and the defense, good call, and nothing doing. Gibbs on his right column. Would have been 7 if the defensive coach hadn't made a good call there. Good call, Coach Gibbs. We do have, what did we have here, though? Oh, yeah, 0. 2nd and 10. Thought there was penalty yardage there, sorry. 2nd down and 10 at the 30. Both teams let the clock run, interestingly enough. It gets down to 1:22. Still 3 wide receivers with Gibbs out there. Back to pass, looking short. He wants Khalif Raymond, and he got him. Khalif Raymond with a catch, and he gets out of bounds as well, stopping the clock at 1:15. Goff now over 100 yards passing in this game. Detroit a new set of downs at their 41. And now a 2 tight end set. So that opens up Gibbs on a 1 white die to hit his wrong column. Nickel blitz shown here from the Eagles. So he wants to tempt him. But he's also shown a willingness to call a run out of that nickel several times in this game. Good matchup here between Coach Michael Emerson of the Lions and Coach Tim Hay of the Eagles. And it's an inside handoff. Jahmyr Gibbs goes to the defensive card this time, and he's going to get 7 yards. 6 on that white die. Not too much for center Frank Ragnow to handle. Both these teams with superior run blocking up front, and a reason why they should feel comfortable running into defenses that are as good as what they're facing today. Clock keeps running down to 52 seconds remaining. No one's calling timeout. 2nd and 3. 2 tight end set with Gibbs again. Once again, nickel blitz shown here by the Eagles. Here's a pitch out to Gibbs. And it goes to the defensive card. He's going to get a 1st down, 5 yards, and he is indeed out of bounds. Gibbs with a 1st down tote, crosses midfield. Stops the clock with 45 seconds left. 1st and 10 at the 47 of Philly. No reason to save those timeouts now with just 45 seconds left. If you're not going to use them, you run the risk of having them in your pocket when the half ends. Here's a 1st down flat pass. This goes to Jameson Williams. Receiver chance for him. Nice catch and run. Williams gets a good reading on his card, and he's out of bounds. 13 yards on flat pass right to Jameson Williams. That gets him down to a 1st and 10 at the Philly 34-yard line. Still 37 seconds and all 3 timeouts from right here at the 34. It's a 2 through 8 and 12 field goal chance with no variable risk. So the Lions in good position to threaten for a touchdown or settle for a field goal. They're already up by 9. They'll go to base run set this time, David Montgomery. Defense goes nickel. I think we might get an off-tackle run here. Why not? You've got the 3 timeouts. They're in the nickel. Off-tackle Montgomery. Defense calls pass, but Montgomery goes to the defensive card, and that's going to cost him no gain. As the Eagles did have one linebacker dropped into a certain off-tackle zone, and it happened to be the difference there. 2nd and 10. Lions do burn their first timeout. So the clock stopped with 30 seconds left. Gibbs back in the game. 3 wide receivers. In formation again. David Montgomery struggling with the dice tonight. 7 runs, 22 yards. Here's an inside handoff, Gibbs, and he gets just 1 yard. Gibbs got snake eyes on the defensive card, and on a line buck, that's just a yard. So I assume Detroit's going to take their second timeout here. They do indeed. So 22 seconds remain. Detroit 1 timeout. They're 3rd and 9 at the 33. From right here, 2 to 8 and 12. If they get to the 32 with a variable boost, it's 2 to 9 and 12. So just a little bit better. But with the timeout still there, let's see what they do. I think why not throw long here? Your variable risk is fairly limited as this field goal range goes back to 41, I think. Back to pass, indeed, looking short. Khalif Raymond, catch for Raymond. He is brought down, tackled inbounds. Quinion Mitchell. So I assume we might get the timeout. He could spike it. That would just leave 8 seconds. I think you're going to call your last timeout at the 20 here. Maybe not. Spike it. You can still have a timeout. At the 20, you could potentially get a touchdown a lot of ways. Clearly, Coach Emerson is weighing his options here. With 1 timeout, he burns it. Oh, wait. Offense lets the clock run down to the 8, and then calls a timeout. Okay. So he wants to avoid an offensive penalty. He wants to settle for the field goal here and avoid the offensive penalty, ruining his chance. I get it. Smart call if you want that field goal. And up by 9, who can blame you? 12 was a nice margin. 37-yard field goal for Bates is up and good. And that extends to a 12-point lead. 22-10 for Detroit. 1 second on the clock. Touchback on the kickoff. And so the Eagles will get 1 play with 1 second. 4 wide receivers split out. Looks like they might make a go of this. Nickel defense shown here. Based on that alone, I think I might consider throwing deep, but you've always got Barkley too. There is a plus 70 just sitting there if you want to try to go for it. Of course, I think you've given up the 1 on the white die for that wrong column with this 4 wide receiver formation. Back to pass, looking deep for Devontae Smith. He's doubled by a linebacker, so that's probably going to end up nowhere for us. And indeed it does. It falls harmlessly to the ground, and we reach halftime here in Philadelphia. The score, 22-10. Let's see. So I have let the coaches know that I need 2 minutes. I need to get a drink so my voice can handle the second half and use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right. Broadcaster is back. So it appears that these guys are ready to kick off the second half. Brief look at the halftime stats here. By the way, that injury to Kirby Joseph should have come off now, so he'll be back. Detroit has outgained them 221 to 186, not by a ton. 16 first downs to 11. We are turnover free at this point. A grand total of 30 penalty yards total for both teams. So they've done a good job of limiting mistakes. Both quarterbacks with 18 pass attempts. 11 of 18 for Goff. 129 yards, and Hurts is 9 of 18 for 91. I think maybe Barkley having only 8 carries. A little bit of an upset there, I would think. Gibbs has 9, Montgomery 7. Just checking in to make sure the coaches are there. So it appears that both Kirby Joseph and Jahan Dotson were injured for the first half, so they'll both be back. Detroit coach is ready, so we're about to kick. Kickoff is down to the 1-yard line. Detroit opening possession and a good return. As it appears, the Eagles' defensive kick returns aren't any better than Detroit's. That return is out to the 40-yard line by Tom Kennedy. And the Lions, up by 12, will begin at their own 40. 3 wide receivers. Gibbs is our tailback. Coach Tim Hay will show the nickel. He guesses a run. It's flat pass, though. Khalif Raymond, he's got the catch. It's just 4 yards. In the one-man column defensively. 4th catch of the game for Raymond. 2nd down and 6. David Montgomery checks in now. He'll set up behind 2 tight ends set, Laporta and Brock Wright. Back to pass, looking deep. Empty zone, and that is going to be incomplete. Jared Goff was looking long for Amon-Ra St. Brown, and not only had it on wrong, but had an empty zone back there. Great call by Coach Michael Emerson. But Jared Goff hit his interception split roll.
3rd and 6. Got to marry a great call with at least decent dice. So that gives the Eagles a chance to get off the field here defensively. 2 tight ends set. Gibbs is your tailback. Philly stays in a nickel. Back to pass, looking short. 4 men in zone. Goes on the offensive card. Must run. Goff needs 6. He's got 3. That would have been a first down on anything 7 and above. 7 and lower, 4th and 3. Detroit's at their own 47. And up by 12, they're going to punt. Jack Fox back there, and he angles this one. Coffin corner. And it's going to be near the 10. And it's out at the 9. So the Eagles survive the opening drive of the second half by the Lions. And now take over possession at their own 9, trailing by 12. And I think we're in the second half here, down 12. We're going to see a little more combination of some long passing with some Barkley running. Off tackle Barkley. Defense looks pass. So Barkley with a shot. Goes to his wrong column and a good run. Out across the 20 and out to the 30-yard line. Barkley in his wrong column picks up 21. Now 9 rushes, 76 yards. Pound him with Barkley. Excuse me. Off tackle to Barkley again. This time the defense guesses run, and that's how they stop him at 0. Although, again, it would have been 0 with a wrong call. 2nd and 10. Three wide receivers set. Jahan Dotson. Back from nursing his injury. He's in the slot. Off tackle again to Barkley. Defense called run again. Good call, Michael Emerson. Barkley goes to his right column, and he gets nothing. 3rd down and 10. And that one would have been 0 on wrong. So, indeed, Eagles have come out in the second half a little more committed to the run, but give Coach Michael Emerson some credit here. He called run on those last 2. Again, it would have been 0 either way. But he's watching it for sure. 3rd and 10. 3 wide receivers split out again. Lions in a nickel. Back to pass. Outside linebackers blitz. He wants Devontae Smith. Let's see if he can avoid the rush. He does. So the defensive card it goes, and that's a catch. Devontae Smith for 11 and a first down. As Jalen Hurts is now over 100 yards passing, 10 of 19, 102. 4th catch of the game for Devontae Smith. 5th tackle, Carlton Davis. And a new set of downs at the 41. That found the 4-man column, 6 result, plus 11. And that's been hit a few times here on 3rd and long now. Off tackle handoff Barkley, and he's going to get 5 yards as that one went to the defensive card. 2nd and 5. Barkley now 12 rushes, 81 yards. 4th tackle for Jack Campbell. Back to pass. Lions were looking run, looking short. We go for A.J. Brown, and no good. Hurts on his wrong column, couldn't get it. And it's 3rd and 5. And that was a must run on right. A quarterback like Jalen Hurts with all these must runs, sometimes it's not the worst thing when you end up defensively staring at their wrong column. 3rd and 5 now for Philly. At their own 46. 3 wide receivers split out. We got a look-in pass. This goes to Barkley. 6 rated linebacker is home. Barkley hoping to see that on the quarterback card, but it goes to the defensive card. Receiver result, catch, run, first down. Barkley needed 5. Barkley got 5. They'll set up a new set of downs here. And Detroit territory at the 49 now. Blocking back set. Off tackle to Barkley. Lions guess run. Good call. Barkley goes to his right column and he loses a yard. And that right call saved a 38-yard gain for Barkley. Coach Michael Emerson has really done a pretty good job so far of being careful with Barkley's run power. Putting enough run calls on the board to make the offensive coach think twice. 3 wide receivers split out. Here's a flat pass. This goes to Devontae Smith. And a receiver result comes up. Devontae's got it, but just a 3-yard gain. And that'll make it 3rd down and 8. And once again, 3 wide receivers on the field. Off tackle handoff, Barkley. They want his wrong column. Goes to the defensive card, and it's going to be a 5-yard gain. And an interesting decision now for the Eagles. 4th and 3 at the Detroit 42. And Coach Tim Hay doesn't waste any time. He went directly to signal that offense back on the field. Still a 3 wide receiver set. Lions in a nickel. Barkley the tailback. Maybe a handoff right up the middle. No, flat pass. This goes to Devontae Smith. Linebacker stayed home. Practically leaning out of my chair because my cat is in front of the card display. Yak opportunity. Devontae Smith. Catch. Run. First down. Devontae Smith. He has C-rated yak, but got to roll good enough to get the first down yardage the Eagles need now at the 37-yard line of the Lions. Flat pass left side. Once again, we're going to Devontae Smith with his C-rated yak. 6 on the white die, though. 0-man column. Catch, run, first down. Inside the 25 and brought down at the 24 by Kirby Joseph. He's back in the game after that first half injury. And a new series for the Eagles at the 24. Now a blocking back set. Back to pass. He looks short. Hurts wants Grant Calcaterra. On his own card, Hurts produces a must run. Around the right side, he's going to get just 4. The safety, Joseph, with another tackle. And it's 2nd down and 6 for the Eagles. And down by 12. I think they are going to be very tempted to go for it if the decision comes down to that at the end in a 4th down situation. Off tackle and 5-yard carry for Barkley. Went to the defensive card and beat the defensive tackle with a 6 on the white die. Eagles now have a 3rd and 1. They're at the 15-yard line. Eagles have been in the red zone 3 times so far and only have 10 points. 3rd and 1, they still split out 3 wide receivers. Hurts at the line, taking plenty of time making this call on 3rd and 1. Like I said earlier, I think if they're anywhere close, they're going to go for this on 4th down. I don't think they want a field goal on this drive. Lions are looking for a run. It's pass. Hurts scans the field. He's looking short and wants A.J. Brown. To the defensive card it goes, and no good. Incomplete. And just like that, the Eagles now look at a 4th and 1 at the 15. And we're about to find out if I was right, and indeed. And there's nothing brilliant about that on 4th and 1, I presume. For full house is the formation here. Jack Campbell already stuffed him once on 4th and 1 in a full house. Let's see if Hurts gets the sneak again. Defense in a 4-3. Huge play. Short yardage defense. Flat pass. A.J. Brown. Hurts. Goes to the defensive card. Linebacker moves in zone. Incomplete. And that's the danger about passing in a full house set. That safety will always move into the zone. So that made, instead of 1 man in zone, it was 2 men in the flat. You're giving yourself a 50% chance of an automatic incompletion there, and that's what happened. Turnover on downs for the Lions. They'll take over at their own 15. First down play is a look-in pass, and nothing doing there, incomplete to Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs had a receiver opportunity on his right column. 2nd and 10. Gibbs steps out. Montgomery comes in at tailback. Blocking back set. Lions still a 12-point lead. 4:12 to go, 3rd quarter. Blankenship, this Eagles safety up close. He shows blitz. Screen pass. This is going to Montgomery. Linebacker is home and no good, incomplete. Found a soft spot on the 1-man column defensively. And very quickly, the Lions behind the sticks here, 3rd and 10. Boy, that last drive for the Eagles, folks, 16-play drive. Took 8:24 off the clock and nothing to show for it. Still a close game. Off tackle draw. Defense calls run, and it's a 1-yard loss. Great call. Sniffing out that off tackle to David Montgomery by defensive coach Tim Hay. And he says, give me the ball back. I want another shot. Jack Fox out to punt. Rolls an 11. Not a great punt. Fielded at the 45-yard line of Philly by Cooper DeJean. And just a 2-yard return. So 3 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Philadelphia Eagles just forced a 3-and-out to get the ball back. They'll begin at their own 47. They're down by 12, 22-10. Blocking back set. Barkley the tailback. Lions look run, but Hurts back to pass. Looking short. He wants A.J. Brown. The quarterback gets his card and no good, incomplete. Second down and 10. Hurts is 14 at 27 today for 128. He's had a lot of bad breaks on the dice, I will acknowledge. 2nd and 10. 3 wide receivers set for the Eagles. Lions in a nickel. Here's a screen. This goes to Barkley. Linebacker's home. And on the defensive card, and nothing doing, incomplete. Barkley, linebacker in zone reading, 4 on the white die. Not going to get it done against these linebackers out here. It was actually Kirby Joseph covering that particularly flat, the free safety, and of course he's 6 rated against the pass. So 3rd down and 10 for the Eagles at their own 47. 3 wide receivers split out. Hurts in a pistol. He's got Barkley beside him. Lions in a nickel. Back to pass, looking short. Safety is doubling on Devontae Smith. This pass, however, goes to Jahan Dotson. That should mean 3 in zone, but it hits the interception split roll, and that's an interception by the Lions. Picked off at the 38-yard line by Detroit, and they are a good return team. That return out across the 50, inside the 40, and finally brought down at the Philly 34-yard line. Interception by Amik Robertson, the first turnover of this game, and a 28-yard return for Detroit. And with 2:06 remaining, third quarter, Detroit begins this drive already in field goal range at the Eagles' 34. And Tim Hay defensively is going to have to dial up a stop here. Hold them to a field goal, you're down by 15. I would think that's the goal. I'm sure he wouldn't argue with a turnover, though. Base run set, blocking back. Back to pass, looking short. Receiver is doubled and incomplete. There is a penalty, however, and it's illegal contact against the defense. That'll wipe out a great defensive call by Coach Tim Hay. 5-yard penalty. And a first down. Now at the 29 of the Lions. Blocking back set with Montgomery again. Here's a quick slant over the middle of the tight end. Laporta defense was looking run. Goff on his wrong column. A beautiful yak setup and a nice catch and run for the tight end. That's going to be a 15-yard pickup. There is a penalty, and it's a late hit on the quarterback. So mark off more yardage, and it is first and goal Lions at the 7. Full house set. Eagles desperately need a stop here. They're already down by 12, and we're on the precipice of the fourth quarter here. Full house set, Detroit. 3-4 blitz, Philly. Eagles look run, back to pass. Short and incomplete. Goff tried to hit Khalif Raymond, and Goff in his wrong column. A lot of touchdown opportunity, but got his interception split roll. So second and goal at the 7. From right here, a field goal attempt would be 2 through 11 for Jake Bates. And that'd put the Lions up by 15. Full house yet again. Once again, safety creeps up close out of the 3-4. That's Blankenship. Inside handoff to Gibbs. Goes to the defensive card and nothing doing but a penalty offsides against the Philly defense. So they get to replay the down with some yardage marked off, 4 yards. And it's now second and goal at the 3. So Philly has become sloppy on this drive with their defensive penalties, just kind of making it easy on the Lions here. At exactly the wrong time, second and goal at the 3. Full house set. Inside handoff, Gibbs. The key is on the other running back. Gibbs up ahead for 2 yards only. Penalty on the play and holding against the offense. And you know Tim Hay, happy to see that. It was going to be third and goal at the 1, but because of that holding, second and goal back at the 13. That may breathe a little life into the Philly defense here. Again, if they can hold them to a field goal try, it can remain a 2-score game. Final seconds here of the third quarter. Montgomery is your tailback. Out of a blocking back set. Back to passes. Goff looks short. He wants Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's got him. And it's going to be not quite enough. Third and goal at the 2. An 11-yard completion. So third and goal at the 2. Full house formation. Eagles again, good to excellent against the run. Gibbs and Montgomery. The key is on Montgomery. Back to pass. Short. That is going to be incomplete. Tried to hit Jamison Williams, and again, Goff hit his interception split roll. That's the end of the third quarter. 22-10. Fourth and goal at the 2. And the Lions are going to play it safe. They're going to kick that field goal and try to get a 15-point lead. Jake Bates, the 19-yard chippy, up and good. And that's the first play of the fourth quarter. 14:42 remains in this game. 15-point lead. Detroit 25, Philly 10. But a big defensive stand by the Eagles that just forced a field goal keeps them within 2 scores. 25-10. They'll begin after a touchback at their own 30. NFC Championship game, fourth quarter. Winner gets the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. 4 wide receivers split out now. So a full spread set here from Coach Tim Hay. Lions are in a nickel. Off tackle, handoff Barkley, and the defense called run. Another good call there, Coach Emerson. Goes to the defensive card, and Barkley's going to get just a yard. Now 16 carries, 91 on the day for Barkley. He's got still 14 carries before he's exhausted. He can run all day. 2nd and 9 at the 31. Again, 4 wide receivers split out. Would he try Barkley again? He does. This time he gets the pass call defensively. Barkley off tackle. What's his wrong column? Gets it. The dice, though, in the middle of the card, and it's nothing doing. 3rd and 9. Barkley has had some opportunities to hit those big runs on the extremes of his card, top and bottom, but really hasn't done it since the very first play of the game when he pounded out a 98 or a 38-yard run. So a big 3rd and 9 here for Philly. They're at their own 31. They'll split out 3 wide receivers. I would expect a short pass here. We do indeed get it. Back to pass, looking short. This goes to Barkley. I think his cover man is on the line blitzing. We'll see. Looks like it to me. So receiver, I think that could get to his wrong column. It's a flat pass, though. A little pressure. We're dumping off now to the tight end Goddard. He hits the 0-man column, but he gets the receiver result, gets 6. And it is 4th and 3, Eagles at their own 37. Tim Hay recognizing it is not wise to punt right now. He's going. So this could, in some ways, be the game. Got to get this conversion. 4th and 3 at your 37. 2 tight end set. That opens the 1 white die on the wrong run for Barkley, who's back there behind the tight ends, Calcaterra and Goddard. 4-3 from the Detroit defense. Back to pass. Defense looking pass. Going to A.J. Brown. Maybe that must run could come up. That could help the Eagles. Goes to the defensive card. Receiver result. Brown on his card. Catch and run across midfield. 18-yard pickup for a clutch 4th down conversion. And the Eagles now have the ball at the Detroit 45. Big pass there to A.J. Brown, his 2nd catch of this game. And the Eagles are now 2 for 4 on 4th downs. They've gone for it 4 times already. Back to pass. Short, but a must run. And a sack as tackled right at the line of scrimmage. DJ Reader brought him to the ground as he tried to hustle up the middle. 2nd and 10. So once again, the Eagles are behind the sticks early on this series. Now blocking back set. A little more threatening of a run position there. Lions show a 4-3. Less than 12 minutes remains in this game. Eagles down by 15. Back to pass. Looking short. He wants Devontae Smith. Dice take us to Hurts' card and another must run. And a good roll that time. Inside the 40. Inside the 30. And down to the 24 on a 21-yard run for Hurts. 6 rushes. 65 for Hurts in the game. And the Eagles, a new set of downs just outside of the red zone. 3 wide receivers now on the field. Lions in a nickel. Brand new ball game if they can get in that end zone. Here's a screen. This goes to Barkley. Linebacker stayed home. Barkley's got the catch, but just a 4-yard gain. And it's 2nd and 6. So 2nd and 6 at the 20. Long pass. Still in play for that safety. Needing to protect that zone. Base run set. Blocking back formation for Philly. Barkley has B-rated yak. Every other player out there has C-rated yak for Philly. So at least there's no real big holes there if you're the Eagles. There's a look-in pass. 6-rated linebacker is there. It's going to Grant Calcaterra. And the dice take us to the defensive card. Receiver result, and no good. Incomplete. Calcaterra had some real good opportunities there in his right column, but missed them, and it's 3rd and 6. And trailing by 15. Almost no way I think Philly's going to kick a field goal here. Maybe if a sack happens for big yardage, getting them out of short pass range. 3 wide receivers split out. Would he try to run Barkley? Would Coach Emerson actually call run? Pitch out Barkley. The safety doubled Barkley looking for pass. Barkley's got an opportunity on wrong, but he hits his right column and loses 8 yards on right. Oh, 4th and 14. Back at the Detroit 28-yard line. Brutal. Oh, that's just brutal. 2-10 field goal, and so he's going to take this. Jake Elliott lines it up. And it's good. There is a penalty. Offsides against Detroit. Now, he might take this to get that yardage, to get within 4th and 9, and then go for it on short down, and that's exactly what I think he's going to do. He does. So that penalty changes everything. 4th and 9, a short pass, much more achievable. I think that's a big break. You still have to capitalize. 3 wide receivers split out for Philly. Hurts in the pistol. Barkley's beside him. Lions show a nickel on this 4th and 9. Back to pass, looking short. He wants Devontae Smith. The safety is on somebody else. Looks like there are 4 men in zone, though. Let's see if the dice take us to the offensive or defensive card. We got a flat pass, a dump off. This goes to Barkley. B-rated yak. 0-man column. Receiver result, and just a 4-yard gain. And that is going to be a turnover on downs as Barkley misses that 0-man column as far as all the plus readings. And it's a turnover. Making it 1st and 10 at the 19. Ooh, Jack Campbell is injured. Jack Campbell just pulled a quad. He's going to miss 2 games. That means the bye week and the Super Bowl if Detroit advances. Jack Campbell is a 5-rated middle linebacker who is 6 against the run. Interesting. Inside run Gibbs and nothing doing. In his right column, good call defensively, Coach Tim Hay. 2nd and 10, Lions at the 19. So 9 minutes left. Eagles' chances rest really on getting a stop pretty quickly and then fitting in 2 touchdown drives. They guess run, it's pass, short, and that's caught. Jamison Williams, he's got a 1st down. He's out at the 30. 3rd catch for him. Pickup of 11. You know, this is my last broadcast of the year, and it's a good thing because I'm losing my voice again. I've done a lot of broadcasting here. New set of downs, Lions at the 30. Here's a flat pass upon Ross St. Brown. Receiver result and incomplete. Brown in his wrong column only has one incompletion. It's on a 9, and he found it. 2nd and 10. So a big break there for Coach Tim Hay and the Eagles. 2 tight end set. Gibbs behind the quarterback. Nickel from the Eagles. They guess run. It's screen. This goes to Gibbs. Gibbs gets receiver result, catch, run, and he's got 9 in his wrong column. And that's going to make it 3rd down and 1. And this is a big play. Clock showing 8:06. You can ill afford to give him another possession or another set of downs here. Eagles got to get off the field. 2 tight end set. Gibbs stays in. Eagles have the 3-4 defense out there. And on 3rd and 1, it's a flat pass. This goes to Brock Wright. 2-men in zone. He doubled the flats. Great call. Coach Tim Hay. Another defensive stand will force the punt on 4th and 1. And that'll give him one more shot at this with half a 4th quarter to go. Right now, 7:48 on the clock. The punt from Jack Fox. Oh, is that going to roll into the end zone? It looks like it'll be close. And it does. So the clock shows exactly 7:30 remaining in this NFC Championship game. Half of the 4th quarter precisely. Eagles at home. Trail by 15. They need 2 touchdowns in half a quarter. They have possession. They'll begin at the 20. 4 wide receivers split out. They're going to begin with a look-in pass. This goes to Barkley. It's attacking a 0-rated linebacker after that injury to Campbell. Incomplete as receiver result came up on that defensive card, and Barkley couldn't find it. 2nd and 10 at the 20. Now 3 wide receivers split out. Nickel defense here. And it's a flat pass. This goes to A.J. Brown on the defensive card. And incomplete. Linebacker in zone was the reading, and that would have been nice the play before when he attacked that replacement middle linebacker, but this time he attacked the left linebacker, or I should say the right linebacker defensively. Malcolm Rodriguez, 4 on the white die. Not enough, and it's quickly 3rd and 10 for Philly. 3 wide receiver set. Hurts out of the pistol. Line showing nickel. It's a hitch. A.J. Brown, and he got the empty zone that he's looking for. Wants the defensive card. He gets it, and it's a 13-yard pickup for a clutch. 1st down, catch and run. A.J. Brown out to the 33. So gamble there by Coach Hay pays off. Off tackle, left side, Barkley. Defense looking pass. So Barkley wants his wrong column, but doesn't get it. And it's going to be no gain. 1 on the white die. It's going to be 2nd and 10. 6 tackle by DJ Reader. The nose up front for the Lions. Three wide receivers out there again for Philly. Back to pass. Looking short. He wants Jahan Dotson. Dice get us to Hurts card. He's got a must run. And he is sacked on the play. Double sixes. And that boxcar reading is fumble -2. Avoids the fumble. That'll be credited as a sack, obviously. Safety Kirby Joseph got that one. And Eagles now have a 3rd and 12 at their 31. And they're quickly running out of opportunities. Hurts out of the pistol. Because you know you've got to go for it on 4th down. Maybe you do a flat pass. Here's a button hook. That's the only space a linebacker stayed home. They're blitzing on the outside, but it is a 0-rated linebacker. 3rd and 12, Barkley. To the defensive card we go, and gets the linebacker in zone and gets the 4, just enough to beat him. That injury comes through in this clutch moment on third down. And back-to-back third down, flat passes on third and long, move the ball for the Eagles. That's the good news. They're out to the 47. Bad news is clock now shows 4:30 to go. And again, they need not one, but 2 touchdowns back to pass. Hurts looks short. He is wanting A.J. Brown. To the defensive card we go, and that pass is incomplete. Got the interception split roll. Sidestepped that manhole. It's 2nd and 10. And now 4 wide receivers split out. Lions show a nickel. Again, 2nd and 10. Might he run Barkley here and try to get one of those big numbers? Coach Emerson's been really brave about calling run. Back to pass. Hurts looks short. He wants Jahan Dotson again. To the defensive card it goes, and an interception split roll again. It's incomplete, but a penalty on the play is against the defense. That'll help Philly. 2nd and 5 now. Into Detroit territory at the 48. Under 4 minutes to go. I just think at some point you got to consider trying one of these long passes. I know that's really not Hurts' game, but here's a pitch out to Barkley. Defense look pass. So Coach Hay gets the call he wants. Can he get the column he wants? He does. End run wrong, and he's got a short game for Barkley. So he gets the 15-yard run. Let's see if he gets out of bounds. He does. That'll stop the clock at 3:36. Barkley now 20 rushes, 98 yards in the game. 1st and 10 at the 33. Barkley in run wrong, got a 4. Both of the readings above him were long gains. 2 and 3. He's got gains below that are even better. So, if you can believe it. Look in past Devontae Smith. He is doubled by the free safety. That'll cover that zone in the middle, and it's incomplete. Excellent call there. Coach Michael Emerson, again, defensively. Knows he's got that 0-rated linebacker and pulled that free safety out of the long zone and doubled it up, and that was the difference there. 2nd and 10. Hurts now 20 of 40 on the day. 189. Three wide receiver formation now. Back to pass. Looking short. He wants A.J. Brown. And it's going to be incomplete. It was the interception split roll that time on Hurts' card. So he is really trying hard to find that interception. It's 3rd and 10 now. Exactly 3 minutes left in the game. Again, the Eagles need 2 scores. Yeah, Jalen Hurts, long pass right. Your only completions are on snake eyes and double sixes. A lot of must runs in the middle. That gives you a little context on why he's kind of calling this the way he is. 3rd and 10, flat pass. This goes to Barkley. Linebacker did stay home. Receiver result, not what he wanted, and it's incomplete. And that makes it 4th and 10. So this is pretty much it. Lions sideline is antsy. They're kind of jumping up and down. They understand if they can get a defensive stop here, they're probably headed to this USFFL Super Bowl for the first time. Certainly the first time under this particular coach. Michael Emerson on his way, if he can get a stop here, probably. Fourth and 10, 3 wide receivers. Back to pass, looking short. He wants his halfback, Barkley. All on the line for Philly. Hurts on his card. Must run. Brought down at the line of scrimmage. Zeke Turner dragged him to the turf. And it's another turnover on downs. 2:06 left on the clock. The Detroit Lions are in total control here in Philly. Off tackle Montgomery loses a couple. The clock will stop as we reach the 2-minute warning in Philly. Eagles are in deep trouble at home. They're down 25-10 to the Lions. And now Jahmyr Gibbs are run up the middle, nothing doing. Offsides penalty against the Eagles, though. And they'll get to replay second down. 2nd and 5. Inside handoff, Dave Montgomery. He's going to get 2 yards on his right column. That makes it 3rd and 5. And I think that's going to draw out the first time out of the Eagles, and it does. That'll stop the clock at 1:45. 3rd and 5 now for the Lions. Pitch out to Jahmyr Gibbs. He's going to get 3 yards, and that's going to make it 4th and 2. Philly will call their second timeout. And the Lions are going to punt from their own 41. But they're in total control now. Jack Fox puts a boot into it all the way back to the 7-yard line. Cooper DeJean underneath it there. Kind of that middle zone where you don't know if you want to let it bounce or not. He lets it bounce, and it's a good roll for the Eagles. A good break, a little too late. 90 seconds left in the NFC Championship game. Eagles with the ball, down 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. They have 1 timeout. Not a team really built to come from behind. I guess in some ways when you've got Barkley's extremes on the end on the wrong column, that can help, Deep ball, and it's going to be caught. Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts hits the snake eyes on his long pass right, and that's 29 yards. And that gets the Eagles out to the 49-yard line. And they're going to spike it right there. That stops the clock. 1:15 to go. They still have 1 timeout. 2nd and 10. With that deep ball, Barkley now 7 catches, 78 yards. I think he's still at 98 rushing. Back to pass, looking deep. He's going for Devontae Smith. It looks like there's 2 in the zone. And he's flushed. We're going to be in the flat now to Dallas Goedert at the tight end, and that pass is going to be incomplete. So 3rd and 10 now for the Eagles. Right now, they're looking for the Hail Mary touchdown and an onside kick and maybe another few Hail Mary attempts. The Detroit Lions came in as the number 5 seed, but most 5 seeds don't come in with 13 wins in their back pocket. Clearly a strong team. Back to pass, short, but a must run, and Hurts only gets a yard. He does get out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with a minute, but it's 4th and 9 for the Eagles. Three wide receivers split out. Off tackle handoff. He's going to put it in the hands of his tailback. Wrong column for Barkley. Shot at a big break, but he needs it.
The dice. Oh, and he's going to get a short gain as it converted to his right column. So a 12-yard run. It is a first down, though. And I think he'll spike it again. Stop it at 45 seconds. And he does. 2nd and 10 right there. And at this point, you just got to, I think, pray for the long pass. I know it's tempting to run Barkley, but 3 wide receiver set. Defense in a nickel. Off tackle to Barkley. On his wrong column. Barkley, nothing doing. Just like all game, he's hitting that middle part of his card. And an injury on the play to Eagles offensive lineman Mekhi Becton. Barkley now 22 rushes, 110 on the ground. And it's 3rd and 10, Eagles from the Detroit 38. 3 wide receivers set. Off tackle handoff. Barkley trying to find it in his wrong column yet again. Can he get to the wrong column? He cannot. Barkley gets a short gain nonetheless on 3rd and 10. An 11-yard run for a first down. But the clock is just winding out on him. Are they going to call timeout or spike it? They spike it. I think I'd have called timeout there because you're running out of time to get the touchdown and the onside and another Hail Mary or two. But I get it. 2nd and 10 at the 27. 22 seconds left here. Short pass. That's interesting. This goes to A.J. Brown. And that pass goes to the defensive card. That's going to be a catch. And a nice run as well for A.J. Brown. He rumbles off 18 more, but fumbles it. He fumbles it inside the 10-yard line, and the Detroit Lions recover with 8 seconds left in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an NFC champion. It is Coach Michael Emerson and the Detroit Lions, who march into Philadelphia and win this one. It looks like a 25-10 final. Coaches are already congratulating each other on a good season. Quarterback takes a knee, and we'll see if Philly even bothers to call a timeout. They do not. And it's over here in Philly. Eagles got to the NFC Championship game at home, but they fall to the Detroit Lions. 25-10 is your final score here. Eagles actually outgained Detroit 421-275. But don't let that fool you. The Lions were pretty much in control of this game from before halftime. And the Eagles were shut out in the second half. A lot of yardage, but not a lot of scoring. Eagles ended up turning it over twice after a turnover-free first half. That was part of the problem. Saquon Barkley, the leading rusher, 23 carries, 121. Jalen Hurts added 7 for 66. That's 187 yards on the ground. And they outpassed their opponent. They also struggled with penalties. 8 for 35. Detroit only 4 penalties despite 1 more yard. No, that's not what we want. Let's get the league manager back up.
case I need that. Pull it down for now, though. So I'll pop in here. Give you a beautiful view of the StreamYard studio view. Keeping an eye out for Coach Tim Hay and Michael Emerson if he wants to pop in for a post game. It's okay if they don't. I always tell coaches, never feel pressured. That's a mission I believe in. So one thing I would tell you that's interesting about the upcoming Super Bowl is that the two teams that ended up making the Super Bowl, the Chiefs and the Lions, are the two teams that were 15-win teams in real life in that season. In the replay that we just completed, neither team earned themselves the number one seed. Neither team won 15 games. Lions go 13-4 on the year and end up getting a wild card because of a 15-win Green Bay team. Chiefs go 11-6 on the year. They win the division, but go in as the 3 seed. And they'll face the Lions in the Super Bowl as we welcome Coach Tim Hay to the stage. Coach, I'm going to go ahead and give us a side-by-side view so you don't feel like you get the whole screen, even though nobody can see me right now.
No problem. I don't want the whole.
Yeah,
I don't want the whole screen after that performance.
Yeah, Tim, it was obviously a tough game for you. Talk a little bit about kind of what you game planned ahead of time, what worked and what didn't work for us.
Some things worked. I just got deep in this territory, made a couple mistakes earlier, and some certain roles didn't go in a good, like the punt return for a touchdown. That kind of hurt. Yeah. Just a couple things. And I think I hit a run. I think I had 3rd and 10 or whatever, and I hit the run that would have scored the touchdown, and I got caught short. I still don't even know what happened there. I wasn't fully paying attention to what happened, but yeah, Michael played a good game. He made some good calls. He keyed in the first half. I had a 4th and 1, and I seriously, I wasn't going to run Jalen at the last second. I said, okay. And he keyed him. And that was a big play in that first half.
Yeah, it was.
So,
Barkley was having some trouble on the game. When you're in a 3 wide receiver set, if he rolls that one on the wide diet, it drops it to his right column rather than his wrong column.
It does. And, he's a fringe player as it is, but on that right diet gets really fringy. I need a 2 or a 4.
Yeah.
To really hit anything. And he hit it. I think he hit the short gain twice on that. So, I guess that's fortunate. But no, Michael called a good game, and that's a tough team. Wow.
Yeah, they are. They are. You actually outgained them like a lot, 425 to 275, something like that.
Yeah, but it was
2 turnovers was big and some penalties. Yeah.
It was like the St. Louis Rams post Bulger. It was all between the 30s.
Yeah.
So
that's kind of the Chiefs story in real life this past year, where they moved the ball quite a bit between the 30s, and they didn't do very good in the red zone. Red zone's a lot of times, where a game can be won and lost at. Let's take a look at that, since we just randomly got ourselves to that.
Yeah.
So Detroit didn't do so great either. 13 points out of 21 possible, but just 10 points out of 28 possible.
Yeah,
in the red zone.
If I'd even kicked, I think I kicked that. If I kicked that field goal on 4th and 1 in the first, I had another opportunity later to kick a field goal inside the 20. But if I get that first one, get the second one, then it's a 1-score game in that second half, and it's a little different. But I didn't. And I mean, I told you last week, I go for it. And, sometimes that happens. I've been playing conservative most of the regular season, but, I figured in this, plus thinking if I could stop him the next time he got the ball, that was really that was in the back of my head the whole time. So, if you start calling him wrong, his players will kill you.
Yes, they will.
So,
yes, they will.
I made some good calls on. Yeah, I made some good calls on Montgomery a few times, and I got some good call. I mean, I got some good yardage plays there, but Gibbs killed me every time. Every time I call him wrong, it was short gain, short gain, short gain. So yeah, I wish Michael a lot of luck in the Super Bowl, and whoever gets there tomorrow, that's going to be a tough matchup.
Well, I can tell you who gets there. It's me.
Well, you play tomorrow, don't you?
No, I've already played my AFC title game.
Oh, I
I
didn't see
get.
it. Okay, well, congratulations.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I need to get my game summary out there. I
Yeah,
think I thought most people had already seen it because it
I've been
was.
running around. I've been running around all weekend. I just got back in time to play the game, so I hadn't seen anything. So
I
yeah,
hear you. Yeah,
congrats.
no, it was actually a 10-7 final.
Wow.
Yeah, Chiefs scored on the opening drive of the game. It stays scoreless until 7 minutes left in the game. It's still 7-0.
Wow.
And he gets a drive for a touchdown, ties it. I get a drive, have to punt. He gets a drive, has to punt, but his punt came after 2 sacks. He punted from deep. I
Oh,
ran out the clock and kicked a field goal with 1 second left.
yeah. Well,
So it's
congrats.
Detroit and Kansas City.
You got your hands full.
You know I do, as you did as well.
Yeah.
Congratulations on making it this far. You did make it all the way to the Super
Thanks.
Bowl, your first trip there, and I'm excited for you. And I was always happy to have you in the league with us, Tim.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim, and good luck next week.
Yep,
Or
should
is
be a
it?
good game. Anthony, I'm sure Anthony and Dennis, or a combination of both, will be on the call for us. So we'll look
All
forward to
right. Look
that.
forward to seeing it.
All right. Thanks, Tim.
All right.
Appreciate you stopping in.
We'll
Have a
see you
good day.
later. You too.
And next
Bye bye.
season, you bet. All right, guys, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. The USFFL season has now been whittled down to just one game. We have the USFFL Super Bowl coming up this next week. Detroit Lions and Kansas City Chiefs. Michael Emerson and Tim Irvin. Coach Irvin will be going for his 5th Super Bowl to take the all-time lead. You know who I'm rooting for. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the broadcast today. I hope that Harlan, wherever you're at, you can't see me, but I'm pointing into you. I hope you are having a good day and enjoying this broadcast. And we will be back sometime this coming week with the final broadcast of the year, the USFFL Super Bowl 424.